Good morning. This is Would-Be Farmer checking in from Central Florida. Something that's been weighing heavily in my mind lately is the idea of how much I have consumed over my lifetime. I want to walk around our property here. Our property is a little more than an acre. And if we were just to give each person on the planet an acre, a quality acre, but that person had to store everything used during the lifetime on that property, what would it look like? So let's walk around and take a look. All right, excuse my somewhat slight video skills, but this obviously is an automobile. It's a car. Invention late 19th century, perhaps. Came into its own early 20th century. Not a bad car. It's not a gluttonous car. It's reasonable, decent gas mileage. It's not over the top. It's not a 4x4 or a large excursion or suburban or something that has too much horsepower and too much space and more than I would use 99% of the time. It's reasonable. So okay, I don't feel too bad about that. But I'm a man approaching 60 years of age. When I think of all of the things I've consumed, let's just take automobiles, and I've had many, but let's say I only had one every 10 years. Okay, that's 4 automobiles. Now, I've got one right now, so that means I'd have to have 3. Junked automobiles, or scrapped, and they'd need to be set somewhere around this property. Okay. Automobiles, let's say they last 10 years. Okay, 10 years. So there'd be 3 there, plus that one that I'm driving right now. Appliances. How about washers and dryers? Let's say I've had three of those each. Refrigerators. Let's say I've had 3 of those. Because remember, let's just say they last 10 years, and I'm starting from age 20 and going to age 60. Other appliances. Well, I've had a few bicycles. Let's throw some bicycles in there. I gotta throw those around the yard somewhere. So where do I put the 3 washing machines, the 3 dryers, the 3 refrigerators, the 3 bicycles? Oh, and I've had plenty of window AC units. Had to replace one major AC unit, so that was scrapped and junked. Some of those parts are reused, but where do I put those things? So that covers appliances. Lots of plastic parts on those too. Plastic. How about all the soda bottles, Gatorade bottles, water bottles that I have used? I got to put those somewhere. So instead of putting them in a village in Bangladesh, the countryside outside a village in Bangladesh or India or somewhere, because we sell a lot of our junk. It goes overseas, it goes somewhere. We stick them in landfill falls in Utah and Wyoming, Florida, South Dakota, wherever. Toothbrushes. I've probably had what? If I use a toothbrush a year, there's 40. If I double that, there's 80. Not to mention shampoo bottles. How about shampoo bottles? Where do I throw those? All the clothes I've had, most of those will compost nicely, but some of them are plastic and synthetic and rubberized. So where do I throw all that stuff? Miscellaneous metal stuff. Think about all these things I've consumed. As an American, as a US guy. If I had to store that all right here, all the stuff, if I had to bury it here or store it here, would I be a little more conscientious? And I'm probably low on the estimate, but I've got to throw these 3 or 4 cars somewhere around here. I'll throw them somewhere. Hundreds of plastic bottles, if not thousands. And how about the 10,000 to 15,000 pills I've taken? Those pill bottles, those pill bottles got to go somewhere. And everything I buy is hardware, comes in plastic to build stuff. I know I'm seriously rambling here. No one wants to hear this. I don't want to hear it. I don't like talking about it. But this stuff goes somewhere. And since we're a rich nation, we have lots of resources and money. We've got power. We can sell it to industry leaders and bureaucrats and government officials elsewhere, where it gets hidden, where we don't see it. We flush our shit down the toilet. It's gone. It's not my problem. It's gone. It's somewhere else. It's somebody else's problem. Something to think about. What would my property here look like? All the stuff I've consumed is piled up here. So what do? We whine about it in this huge echo box called Facebook. Well, at a minimum, got to get the conversation going. Let's talk about it. We have to talk about it. Now, I'm not likely to go back to college, get a PhD in planet saving. But there's certainly something I can do. I can talk about it. I can start the conversation. I can encourage others to do the same thing. Talk to their children. Talk to their kids who have the big brains and lots of energy, who are headed off to college to make their mark. Maybe they can make a mark that confronts this. Maybe they can be the change. Maybe together, our wisdom, our experience, what we've seen, combined with their energy and their big brains, the young kids' big brains, maybe we can do something about this. Let's at least have the conversation.